Doubting Thomas, the phrase, is a biblical phrase that we use in our culture on a fairly regular basis to describe someone who just can't believe. I don't think that does justice to the story that unfolds today in the gospel. I like to think of the story in a different way. And that is of Thomas being completely honest about his life and his present circumstance and about how he feels what has just taken place. Remember, Thomas is one of the chosen who has been with Jesus from the beginning. Thomas watched Jesus be beaten and crucified. Thomas was at the Last Supper. Thomas heard of Christ's resurrection. And now Thomas has missed out on the appearance of Jesus. He wasn't there at a very powerful, sacred, and special moment. And I believe all Thomas is really doing is identifying in his own words that he missed something spectacular, so spectacular that it would be so difficult for him to accept unless he himself experienced this interaction with Christ. And so he spoke into being through his honest words, "Unless I see Jesus and touch his hands and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." I think we should call, instead of doubting Thomas, we should call him honest Thomas. For to speak such utter words of truth takes courage. You know what it is like in life to miss out on things, big or little. Whether you're late to the party or you missed a celebration, you missed an opportunity to gain a job or a promotion. But all of us miss out on things. You missed a visit of a special friend or a family member and you weren't there. You missed good news being delivered about a pregnancy or a wedding engagement and you missed all the excitement. We know what it is to be left out or to miss out on something spectacular. And yet I think this goes even deeper and beyond that. Because Thomas is remembering a time in the past when things were much better. When things were all right. When things were at peace. When he was walking with Christ. When he was there with the physical Jesus, keeping company, being a part of his life, being a part of his ministry and teachings and learning, and in a genuine and real relationship with Christ. Thomas remembers the good old days, the days when all things were well with him and his Lord. And all of this has been taken away through Christ's crucifixion. And there is uncertainty and confusion. And when Christ comes back, Thomas misses this. And he simply speaks out loud what it would take for him to believe. I think each and every one of us in our own lives can identify where we're at and where we want to be. And like Thomas, we may find ourselves in a place which is not exactly where we want to be. And we may think back to a more peaceful time, a more settled time, a stronger time. And in the midst of change and things occurring, we may speak out loud if we are courageous. What will it take to get me to believe that this will be okay? From a logical standpoint, from a thinking standpoint, we are required to learn things in life, book knowledge, job training, facts and figures. And sometimes we may feel overwhelmed that what it is we are supposed to know is not where we're at. And then we may speak out loud, what is it going to take to get me to the knowledge I need? Tutoring, help, extra study, extra time. But we know we're not where we want to be, and if we are honest and we speak out loud, what will it take to bring me the peace to be comfortable again? That happens with our brain in a logical way. It happens circumstantially in life as well. Probably the best example is when I think about finances. We may find ourselves having been at one point financially balanced or strong, and then for whatever reason, we find ourselves in debt and behind. And we don't know. How are we going to get to the spot where we're breaking even again? And if we're honest and we speak out loud what it is we need, at least we're making some progress toward restoration. Maybe from an emotional or a relationship standpoint, we think about our relationships. And we know there have been better days in our lives with people who are very close to us or associated with us on a fringe. It does not necessarily have to be an immediate family member. Maybe it's just a friend. But we know things become broken in the moment of special togetherness is gone, and it seems overwhelming. And can we speak honestly out loud? What will it take to restore the relationship? Thomas is looking for a miracle. Thomas is looking for the resurrected Christ. And although many others around him have experienced that miracle, he has not yet experienced it. And he basically says, until the miracle strikes me, I can't believe. I think for each one of us, there comes a time and a place in our life where we too speak that out loud. It's going to take a miracle to fix this. It's going to take a miracle to get caught up. It's going to take a miracle to learn this. Things oftentimes seem overwhelming and swirling around me anyways. And I think, how can it get back to peace? I have a friend that I so dearly want to help and care for. But I have no way to know how will it happen. I want to believe in a person who is struggling in their recovery, and yet I don't know how it all can possibly happen. But I know God asks me as a Christian and as a pastor to hold on for a miracle. To speak out loud what it will take, and then to be patient and wait for Christ to appear to make it all happen. And maybe the appearance of Christ happens through the efforts of others, providing encouragement, or working in the midst of the situation. I do know how difficult it is to work with other people that you love and you see in pain and you're not quite sure. What can you do? Hold on for a miracle. Speak to God and let God know what it is you need to be encouraged in your private and prayerful life. And maybe with time, it will come into being. Maybe in time, like Christ appeared to Thomas, somehow Christ will break through and appear to you. Whatever your need is, and whatever your encouragement is that you need. One thing I do understand and believe is that there is no possible way to move forward by living in the past, by looking backwards and thinking, I wish it was this way, I wish I could be this, I wish I could be that. That's not the way our life of faith or our real life works. Our real life works by us speaking about our struggle and our pain and dealing with the moment as it is, speaking out loud what it is we need, and holding on in faith to wait for that to come to us. We are in the business of waiting for miracles in some aspects of our life. We are in the business of taking whatever small step we can to make progress without blaming other people or lamenting things aren't the way they used to be. We are called to live forward in faith and honesty and wait for God to appear to us. And it happens. I'm inspired by people I meet with, and they let me know that change is coming to their life. And they need to step aside and move on in this area and let other things happen as they open their lives up to God's direction in the future. And they say, I have no idea what the future is, but I do know I'm not doing this anymore. I take great admiration of them for their ability to know when to let go and to let God come in. It is an awesome power to see. What I want you to consider about Thomas is that he was honest. He recognized he wasn't where he wanted to be. He identified he wants to have this encounter with Christ. He spoke it out loud, and he asked for it, and it came to pass. Whatever your need is, whether it is thinking, practical, emotional, or relationship-wise, I invite you to walk away from the past and to take each step that you can into the future and just call out to God what it is you need for help and wait. And if God is still in the business of speaking today, which I believe He is, it may take some time. And this is the tough part, being patient. But lean on others and look forward to God touching you. And you will be restored, and you will be given strength to move on to your next destination and your next reality and location in life. Lived in faith.